Well, Arsenal's new aim is to reach 83 points. Everton require a draw to confirm UEFA Cup football. Both sides will reflect on how close they came to achieving even greater goals. With Cesc Fabregas succumbing to a groin injury and Robin van Persie a thigh problem, Arsene Wenger makes two changes, with Gilberto in midfield and Emmanuel Adebayor up front. Adebayor reached 30 goals for the season after completing a second-half hat-trick as a substitute at Derby on Monday. Just one change for Everton, with Tony Hibbert going into defence to release Phil Neville into the midfield. Andy Johnson will be supported by Leon Osman. Yakubu is on the bench, still seeking his 20th goal of the campaign. But as goal scoring goes, even Cristiano Ronaldo's magnificent 40 goals is dwarfed by the achievement of the legendary Dixie Dean, who completed his 60-goal haul 80 years ago this week with a hat-trick against Arsenal. Today, his great-grandchildren, Scarlett and Daniel, led out Everton to mark the phenomenal achievement. Toure, Bentner. Walcott, Clichy's making a run. Arrives just in time to try and deliver a cross, but it's cut out by Fernandez. Here's Walcott. And once more. It's a good effort. And Howard, I think, just pulled his arms away once he was confident it was going beyond his post. The first real sight of goal. Walcott, certainly on current form, inevitably involved. You could just see Howard kind of pulled his arms away at the end. He knew it was going wide. Tried a little touch. Nilsson, now Bentner. And the ball in towards Gilberto, and his header is off target. It was a decent ball in, and Gilberto arrived, but he couldn't direct the header on target, and it went beyond the post. There haven't been many occasions today when Everton have been prized open. They were there, but Gilberto could not put his header on target, and Howard's goal. Hillas trying to work a 1-2, and then a collision between he and Phil Neville. Left him on the deck. No real appeals for a penalty. There was a little excitement on the terraces. He had his ankle clipped. Phil Neville was not really looking that way, though, and the intent was definitely not there. Trio of talent. Cesc Fabregas in the middle is celebrating his 21st birthday today. Made his Premier League debut against Everton in August 2004. Song above Johnson. Fernandez, clever skills from him to elude Nilsson and then send Johnson away, and the flag stays down, and Fabianski with a good save. And it was all a little stationary, and in the end, as he fell to the floor, it was rather hurriedly cleared by Song. It was all very stationary at the back for Arsenal. I think they just assumed there must have been an offside. You can see there was no question of it. Johnson was in. Good save by Fabianski. Results in an Everton corner. First shot on target of the match. Comes the way of the visitors, and Jagielka with the second. Off the line by Nilsson, and still not away, Lescott. And Fabianski pounces on it. And Everton are the closest. Good downward header by Jagielka, off the line by Nilsson. And while you were watching that, this happened. The ball flicked out of the grasp of Fabianski by Lescott, who was then booked for his troubles. Toure towards Adebayor. It's a terrific ball, and Tim Howard was down. It lacked the pace, and it certainly lacked the penetration to elude the Everton keeper. And suddenly there's chances, and suddenly there's an atmosphere around the Emirates. Neville. Pinar might break for Johnson. Now that's nudging it back to his keeper, but Alan Wiley judging that it was actually a miscontrol rather than an attempt to pass it back. David Moyes wanted an indirect free kick. away. It's a better ball, Adebayor! Well, he didn't get enough on it, really. And it just glanced off his head and beyond the far post. But it's as good an opening as any in the half that has had few chances, especially for a player who scored as often as Emmanuel Adebayor. Adebayor doing his best to get there, and Tim Howard thought about catching and then realised he was perilously close to handling outside his area and did well to chest it. Bentner took a deflection off Phil Neville and it'll go out for a corner. Adebayor, the tallest man in there, but Gilberto is often a target as well. Bentner beaten to it by Lescott on the near. Walcott, Gallas has pulled away, and strangest of clearances, hit two Everton players and went out for a corner. There was no Arsenal player near the two Evertonians who got in a bit of a mix-up here. Yobo hit Neville, and an opportunity for Arsenal to make a couple of substitutions, which are unusual to say the least. Jens Lehmann for Lucas Fabianski, and Kolo Touré to be replaced by Romain Traoré. Well, he gets a rousing standing ovation almost from the Arsenal supporters, who appreciate his efforts down the years. Neville picks out Pienaar, who only finds Gallas. De Nielsen, Gilberto, Bentner, now Traoré. Terrific goal. Well, it was always going to take something very, very special to break Everton down today, and it was a lovely move from Arsenal. Wicked ball in and terrific header from Bentner. Finally, they managed to get round the back of Everton, and Traoré's ball was so inviting, and Bentner's header was exquisite. Well-worked goal. First time Everton have really been broken down. Carsley was just beaten to it in the air, fair and square, and Nicholas Bentner gets his 9th of the campaign. And there's a hug from his strike partner. And cheers for Arsene Wenger. Walcott beaten to it by Pienaar. There's Baines. Pienaar caught, free kick to Everton. Just entering the second minute of added time, and they've thrown inevitably the likes of Yobo and Lescott forward. Can Everton rescue the point they need? Jagielka heading it on. Yobo! It was a good chance. It was a really good chance, and he rather swung a leg at it, and there was no control. And as a result, it just fired behind the goal and into the Everton supporters. But that was the chance to save the point that would have got them into the UEFA Cup today. And it was only ever a flickering hope that Manchester United and Chelsea wouldn't win another game this season, but I think he knew the game was up some time ago regarding winning the title. 3 minutes of added time are complete. This really is the last seconds of the game. Here's Osman losing out, and that is how Arsenal's season will end here at the Emirates this season, with another victory. David Moyes, his side gave an awful lot to this game, but they will go to the final day of the season still searching for the point that will gather UEFA Cup football. Arsenal go in pursuit of another win that would take them to 83 points, and who knows, maybe even the spot should Chelsea falter. Nicholas Bentner with the goal of the game. It's finished at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, Everton 0. Hassan, I know it's not completely the end of the season, but it is a kind of a time for reflection. How will you look back on the event so far this campaign?
Overall, the way we played was outstanding throughout the season, and the commitment, the attitude of the team was absolutely a joy to see on a daily basis. We come out with 80 points at the moment, and we can make 83, but you could say is excellent. We didn't lose one game at home in any competition. And overall, of course, we had a big disappointment to swallow. We couldn't win the league, but we were so close that the disappointment was even bigger. But like every winner, when you feel you can do it, let's come back next year and do it.
David, a defeat, but a lot of positives in your performance today. Sure.
Yeah, a lot of disappointment that we didn't get the point which would have secured 5th place. But nevertheless, the performance was good. The players stuck at it. We made 1 or 2 opportunities. You know, it's always difficult coming here because they have so much possession, and you have to make sure that you don't let them make that count. And I thought for most of the game we did that.
When you look at the season, I know you've got a game left. There's so many good things to take from it, despite the disappointment of not clinching the title.
Yeah, progression has been the main thing this season. You know, we're progressed in all form of ways as a club, as a team, and I think we're going to even push even more next season. And next season, I think we're going to really be in with a good shout for the title.
We've pulled up a little bit short in the last few furlongs. Hopefully we'll learn from it. We've learnt every other year we've been here. We've progressed. So the job is hopefully when we're in this situation next season, come March time, we're ready to kick on and try and win a few more games in the run-in.
Was it an emotional day for you?
Yeah, it's very emotional. I got some minutes to play in the final game of the season in a home game, and it was I really appreciated that, because it's always good to say bye-bye to the supporters, to the club, and the farewell I had will always stay in my mind, and the club and the supporters will always stay in my heart.
We have a big respect for him because he was 100% professional for the 7 years he was here, and overall, of course, he deserves that because he has contributed a lot to the success of the club. And we'll miss him because he's a very important player, not only on the pitch, but off the pitch as well.